Peace and love, peace and love. I am Kaugelo Habiani, and thank you for tuning into Man Up Conversations, where we connect with evolving men to discuss issues around masculinity and manhood and provide tools to help us be better to ourselves and the world around us. So I say evolving men because there's a global change in the traditional role of men and the definition of masculinity, which is causing quite a lot of conflict and confusion. And not conflict as in men fighting amongst each other, but an internal conflict, not only in myself, but I see this in a lot of my friends. I see this with a lot of colleagues. I see this with a lot of people that I engage with, and even the younger generation of men who are growing up now. Because questions are being asked, so that whole traditional, heavy lifting, the fighter, the stoic man is being questioned and being challenged to step out of his cave and, examine some of these lifelong beliefs about manhood. So although this men's movement started, I think it was back in the 60s and 70s, today there's still a growing demand for men, both young and old, to have these uncomfortable but courageous conversations in private. You can do it in private, in a form of support groups. Like you have the men going their own way movement. You have like a manosphere where guys are just keeping things just in a circle of men, and whatever gets discussed in those sessions is only for those men. Or you can do it in a public platform like we're doing with our podcast on Man Up Conversations. But it's basically, we're doing this to support each other and, provide a healthy framework for all men to be able to deal with the challenges of being a man in modern society. I know a lot of people are saying that we need to rediscover our masculinity. I still believe that, there are some things that we were taught or that we kind of got from our friends and interactions with the world that don't really serve us well. So when I set out on this journey to start speaking to men, I wanted to connect with them in a way that allows us to speak openly about our own definitions of manhood, so that we don't only focus on like the typical norms, but also highlight, the different types of masculinities that we often don't see in society. We don't see them on social media, and they're not really represented that much in mainstream media either. So Man Up Conversations isn't a platform that tells men how or who to be, but rather we encourage every man to write their story, write your story so that you're able to share it with others. And I think in doing so, questions and examinations of how those beliefs and, norms and traditions are helping us or maybe hurting the people around us. So man, I'm urging fathers, uncles, all you mentors out there, be present, engage with the younger guys, the sons, the nephews, the people in your life that look up to you and kind of see you as that man. Speak to those people and don't just check on how they're doing. Are you doing good at school? How's your money doing? How are you doing physically? But I believe that once we start asking guys how they're doing mentally, emotionally, then we start tapping into a different kind of conversation. Then, of course, we're able to address even more, and we allow the guys to open up a little bit more. So then the conversation is that much more robust and it's deeper. I believe that, the world needs a lot of role models, and not just influencer types and more like a celebrity type, but more like that fearless man, the man who's clear in his role, in his identity, whether he has something or he doesn't have anything, he can stand on his word and say, I'm a man because of these morals, these principles, or these values. Those men are needed, to help heal these wounds that we carry as men. Because I believe that those wounds can only be healed if we truly open up and we start sharing our deepest truths, our deepest fears, and all our insecurities without any, type of shame or guilt. But if we speak with empathy and a willingness to open up and support each other, it doesn't matter where you are, in your journey. You could be, down on your luck and feeling like there's nothing out there for you. Whether you feel like you're on the mountaintop and you got everything, there's something that we all struggle with, and there's something that we can learn from each other. So I really encourage us, man, to speak to each other, man, open up a little bit more, whether you're speaking to your wife, but trust me, if you speak to your brother, you will find that there's so many things about your brother that you never even knew. So, man, I don't want to get too preachy on this one, man, but if you haven't tuned into the podcast yet, man, make sure you follow the link. I'm going to put that in the description. I'm going to add another one in the comment sections because I really want to hear what you guys think of the content that we're sharing. If you've heard it already, make sure you check it out. We've got a couple more videos on our channel that you can check out. We're also on Buzzsprout, as the audio version of the podcast, so you can go out there, check it out. We're also on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, and plenty other platforms where you can engage with the content. I urge you, man, to sit with your dad, listen to an episode, break down some of the concepts that we're bringing in. We've got some really cool guests that, are very knowledgeable, people who've written books on subjects of men from personal experience and also from a professional capacity as well. Also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram as Manned Up Conversations. We're also on Twitter as Manned Up Conversations. And you can also follow our Facebook page as well. So you can engage with some of the content, share some of your thoughts. If you want to share them privately, if you want to share them publicly, we're there for you, man. Who knows? You might just be here with me breaking down your story to help one of our brothers out there who's in need. And of course, man, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel so you can help us grow the channel and we can reach our fellow brothers and be part of their journey and their evolution as men. Peace and love. Signing out.